Hey, how are you guys? It is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 ways to connect with your target customer. And I'm not just saying your target customer. I'm talking about the CTO, the CEO, maybe even the CFO, to get in front of that person who can sign the checks, who can enter their credit card information, who can give you money. And at the end, I'm going to give you a massive bonus tip. And that bonus tip is what helped me transform. I've done all of these and they all work exceptionally well. And my defining one will be at the end of this video. So I don't want to leave any stones unturned here. These are the 5 most successful ways to get in front of those people. Before I get into it, I do want to mention that I do have a free masterclass down in the links below. If you go down there, any links I do mention throughout this video, by the way, they will be posted down there. But it's the first link. 5 ways to make significantly more money with your MSP. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. Number 1 is going to be leveraging LinkedIn. I know everybody has LinkedIn. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. You should definitely get on the platform and just spend some time. Before you go into who I'm talking about and all that, take some time, fine-tune your profile, build a company page on LinkedIn, and get to know the platform a little while. You can learn the entire platform and get your entire profile filled out in as little as maybe 2 or 3 hours of just really putting your best foot forward. Now, before I go too far into this video, I do want to mention also, you should have your buyer persona form filled out. There's no doubt about it. Fill that entire thing out because that is going to paint the picture of who you need to target. And the beautiful part about that is once you know who to target, you can just immediately start to go after that target person. I know it sounds kind of redundant, but otherwise you're just running and hoping that you're going to hit your target customer. Having that buyer persona is so crazy important. After that, you're going to leverage LinkedIn. And what I mean by leverage LinkedIn, and you've already fixed up your profile, go connect and start engaging with your target customers. Now, don't be like everybody else and be like, well, I just saw you on LinkedIn and I want to connect with you. Get rid of all the junk. Hey, my name is Harrison. I saw that you're in this company. We specialize in that area. No sales pitch. Just want to have a conversation. Get creative with your messages. Try 100 connections with 100 messages and then change that message and do it every 100 people. Figure out what works for you because what works for me might be very different. Our profile pictures are different. Our backgrounds are different. Our LinkedIn about us is different. Our experience is different. Keep that in mind. So just figure out what outreach message works. Try 100, try 100, try 100. Keep maybe a little worksheet of statistics of what performed and what didn't perform, and then start leveraging that over and over and over again. If you want to take it one step further, Sales Navigator, it's LinkedIn's premium platform. I want to say it's like $100 a month. I apologize if I'm wrong, but in there, you can actually go out and target your perfect buyer persona. And if you want to take it even one step further, you're doing these emails, which are like hey, they're going to see it no matter what next time they get on LinkedIn, or these connection requests, which they may or may not see. But if you want to take it one step further, find somebody who can make an introduction for you to that person on LinkedIn. That will get rid of so many of your, I don't know if they're going to respond, or just increasing the chances of getting a response tremendously. It's a little bit more legwork on your part, but the results are fantastic. It's how I grew a lot of my business back in the day. Number 2 is going to be webinars and events. As an MSP, there is so much knowledge we all have, especially with what is happening right now in Vegas. There are so many different topics. There are so many different spaces, different technologies that are used. All of these come into play. When you have that buyer persona, you can start to figure out, hey, I want to invite so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. They fit my ideal buyer. This separates you massively from everybody else out there. Going through and hosting a webinar with really good information. I mean, information that took you time to build, that you went through, that you really were like, this is the golden nuggets that I could provide for free. Anything more I would have to pay for because I'd feel bad giving it away. That is what you want your webinars to be about and your events. If you're just looking to meet other business owners, make it more broad. If you're looking to get directly in front of your target customer, Make it as precise as humanly possible. It'll be worth its weight in gold spending that time. And once you make something really, really good, all you have to do is redo it over and over and over and over again. Invite new people. You master that webinar, invite 20, 30, 40, 50 new people. Run a small Facebook ad to get people attending these events or webinars. It is worth its weight in gold, time, energy, and effort, and output as far as revenue for your business. That company is going to put money in your pocket, especially because you've already provided value with them. Number 3 is create value-based content specifically. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go hit the keyboard and start hammering away with your keys, and I'm not saying that you need to pick up your phone or your camera and start recording content like a madman. That is not what I want to say. What I do want to say, though, is start to get in the process of learning these areas. If you're looking to learn blogging and SEO, I do have a link down below to one of my courses. I've done it for the last 5 years. It's everything that I've ever learned. This is not a shameless plug or anything like that, but it is something that a lot of people struggle with. I've just boiled it down into a process that is easy for people to follow, and the results that they've gotten is incredible. But start to think about and getting into the process of, what would my audience really enjoy? What kind of content would it be? Would it be you sitting there taking a selfie, a video of what you're doing, kind of like this? Or would it be better off if it's written? Would it be better off if it was in an audio format, like a podcast? There are so many ways to create content, and specifically valuable content. Heck, you have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, all of these social media platforms. It is the same process. YouTube is a little bit longer format, which is why I like it. But if you're like, hey, I can only do a 30-second video, start getting good at TikTok. There are so many customers out there, and I can't even believe it. I just found a guy who sells jets for a living. And when I say jets, I mean like Gulfstreams, $30 million, $50 million jets to people. And he gets tons of his customers from TikTok. It is crazy that people are buying 30, 40, $50 million jets because of a social media platform. Don't sleep on it. It is so worth it in any aspect. And then take it one step further. Once you start getting that attention, start emailing people. If you've signed up or you've gotten anything from me as far as a value-based piece of content, my masterclass, all the worksheets I provided, anything like that, you get an email almost every day, every other day for the most part. I either send them or I automate some of them, or I write them and batch them out. So, hey, yesterday was Sunday. I might have made 3 or 4 pieces of emails to go out over the course of the next week. This is tremendously powerful for you and your business. And if you don't like to do it, automate it or hire it out. There are plenty of people in this world who are willing to do this work for you. So it takes little to no work. It does take a little bit of time to grow, but you can definitely outsource this area. Number 4, you can't outsource personal video messages. They are amazing. I don't think that they are used nearly enough, which guess what that means? It leaves open a entire void of opportunity for you to go fill. There are so many softwares out there. There's one called Quick Pages. There's one called Bonbon. If you want to get crazy, go kind of old school. Record a video like this, talking to the person, either going through what they have or what you can see. Record it, post it on YouTube, send them the link and say, hey, I made a custom video for you. Is it going to be a tremendous amount of time up front? Of course it is. Is that payoff going to be worth it? Are they going to know who you are, the value that you provided, a little bit about your company, and maybe actionable steps that you included in your video? Yeah. Who wouldn't want that? I have gotten several video messages and I'm like, these are amazing. I've actually hired several people from it because they took the time to show that they care about what I have, the services that I offer, and how they think that they can improve them. Now, not all of them are going to be good, but if you can go through and start making those videos, why not? Get a nice little camera. You don't need something crazy. I have a Logitech Brio sitting right next to this, right? Start recording those pieces of content. You don't need anything crazy. And start posting it over and over and over and over again. Send those messages out. They will work and help you convert massively. Number 5, I'm sure we probably already all know this one. Client referrals. right? Leverage existing relationships and referrals, client referrals, partnerships and networking events, and join business groups. Many of you guys have already taken the first step of joining your local chamber of commerce. Love that. Go one step further. Find a tip. Find a specific local business networking group. Now, chamber is fantastic. They're all about the community. A lot of times it's business owners that just want to help other business owners. Super low pressure. My only gripe with them is they don't meet enough. But if you're like new into networking, it is the absolute best first step that you can take for you being a business owner. If you've already started to attend or you're really comfortable in busy networking environments, go invest in a local networking group. Typically, the more money you spend, the higher caliber of people that are going to be in there. I used to be a part of one. It was $300 a month, $3,600 a year. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but for a networking group, that was a tremendous amount of money. Some of them might have been $1,000 otherwise per year. And I'm here at one that's almost that's 3.5 times more expensive. The caliber of people in that group, and there's others out there. There's EO, there's Vistage, there's so many out there, is infinitely higher than any other networking group that I was a part of. They're bigger companies. They're direct decision makers. There's a reason they're there. They're either high caliber salespeople who already have a list of people that they already know, or they were the CIO, CTO, CEO, a chief level officer that was at these events. So just keep that in mind as you're out networking. It's the most fun that I think you can have if you really like socializing. Not everybody does, but what you put in as far as finances should come out. I've closed some of my biggest deals from networking events just because I happen to be in the right place at the right time, and it immediately weeds out people that are not that serious about growing their business. I'm not saying not everybody is, but typically the more money you spend, the higher caliber of person that you're going to get. And number 6, right? That's 6. Sixth, last but not least, what I did to help grow the business significantly was I actually started a podcast. Now, this is something super unique, and this was a cool idea that I had. At the time, my old boss allowed me to have a separate office, like a little closet. I mean, when I say little, I mean it was like 9.5 by 9.5. I converted it into a podcast studio. And what I would do is I would invite my key decision makers onto that podcast. Now, I didn't only make it about my customers. I made it friends of theirs, real estate people. It was more of a Joe Rogan style podcast. It was called the Brutally Honest Podcast. I haven't recorded in a while since COVID. I probably will pick it up in the near future, but it was the best. And here's why. I always got in front of people that never would have given me the time of day. These people had no interest, or they're just too busy. But if I give them the platform to share their knowledge, they immediately will open up their schedule. So that was number 1. Number 2, my podcasts were 1.5 hours to 3 hours long. People buy from people they know, like, and trust, right? Over the course of those 1.5 hours to 3 hours, guess what we did? We talked without this little device. 1-to-1, sometimes a 2-to-1 of deep intellectual conversation. People then would know me. They would probably like me, and they'd begin to trust me. So now, having those 3 things allowed them to either become customers or somebody who wanted to refer me out to one of their friends to go sell them IT services. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to do this, but this was my creative kind of way of inviting people in a super unassuming way. They would come see the office. Sometimes they'd show up early enough that they'd see some of the guys. They'd get a really good idea of what it was and the picture of kind of the place. And then they might reach out to me. It was a no pressure. It was like, hey, this is what I do. This is how we do it. Okay, let's jump into the podcast. Obviously, you saw the office. And more often than not, they would either hit me up or they'd make a referral. Could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months, but it was always just staying top of mind and providing a massive, massive amount of value. So that was what worked really, really well for me. That was my bonus. But think about something that you could do. It doesn't have to be podcasting. It could literally just be inviting people out to do or enjoy your favorite hobby. Get creative with it. You'd be so surprised what people would enjoy whether or not they like to learn, or give them the space to open up. There's so many creative ways to get in front of your ideal customer. These are just 6 ways that I have found that worked really, really well for me and seem to work really, really well for other people. So other than that, I love you guys. I'm about to start traveling. It's very early in the morning, but I'm about to get in the car, drive 12 hours up to Long Island. So you won't see me here. You might, because I have a couple videos that I haven't released yet. But I won't be at my desk for the next 2 weeks. I am traveling for clients, for work, and a little bit of play as well. On that, love the heck out of you guys. Appreciate you guys always following along, and I'll see you guys later.